All right, everybody, we are live again, Dynasty Mirror Search for a Guru. And I have my brother, Michael Olawale, on with us today. And today's topic is, really unpackaging the misunderstanding between Black Americans and the, to be specific, Nigerian immigrant community. Now, usually when Black people say they've had a bad experience with an African immigrant, because Nigerians make up the majority of the African immigrant diaspora across this planet, actually, and really Black immigrant period diaspora is majority Nigerian. Usually, their experiences with coming in contact with the wrong Nigerian. Uh,
Mhm.
Sometimes because it's just Black people, Black Americans, it's just everyone's African. If you come from Africa, they don't know the difference between Nigerian, Senegalese, or whatnot. It's all the same. So that sometimes leaves a bad taste in their mouth. And then they'll take that same experience and apply it to the communities over in Africa. And they're like, okay, why do I want to go to Africa if my experience with African immigrants is like this? It's probably going to be worse over there, which is far from the truth.
Mhm.
So, me and my boy Mike, we're going to discuss, is there a misunderstanding? And as he said before we came on, is the Black American community failing the Nigerian immigrant community, and it is the Nigerian immigrant community failing the Black American community. Mike, go ahead and take it away.
Yeah, Dennis. Like I said, man. Congratulations again, man, on your passport and everything. What you're doing. My people. Hey, man. I'll be honest. I've been in America 20 years, so I can say, I with my time, my experience in this country, I definitely can say, hey, I have that knowledge and the privilege to be able to speak on this issue, dude. The reality is this, dude. In America, the way I can sum it up is the Black society, period, will fail each other, man. We'll fail each other, period. We just need to accept it. The Black
Repeat that
immigrant
again.
community
Repeat that again. You were kind of going in and out. Repeat that again.
in America, in this America, this country, the black, period, like immigrants, Black will fail each other, period. Period.
Okay.
That's just fact. The immigrant community has failed the Black American community. The Black American community has failed the immigrant community. Hopefully, like we'll fail each other. And I'll tell you something about life, dude.
Go ahead.
I know people they have succeeded from failure, but I've never met a human being that succeed. They've succeeded from excuses.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So in life, it's okay to fail. I'm a businessman. I can tell you one thing about business, dude. I know businessmen that most successful businessmen succeeded because they failed at first. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And most businessmen that failed, they never recovered, were people that didn't learn from their failure. So the reality of the matter is this: the for my 20 years of being in this country and from knowledge, everything I've learned from experience of people, whether it's immigrants that came in, Black. The bottom line is we failed each other. That's just reality.
Mm-hmm.
And until we say, hey, we failed each other, and let's use this failure to knowledge from lessons from this failure to kind of succeed. Until we get to that point where we're all stupid, to be honest, man.
Right.
So me as a Pan-Africanist, I'm not a human being that will ever participate in, oh, fuck the other group, or because it's, no, I don't do that shit, man. I don't do that. It's two things. I have a choice: either be a part of a problem or be a part of the solution. You know, I'd rather be part of the solution. So now I'll tell you, who should take more responsibility as far as in America here for these failures? Black Americans. I'm sorry, Dennis. I'm sorry. Who should take more responsibility is Black Americans, because if we have every immigrant here, like Caribbeans, Nigerians, Ghanaians, everybody. And I think who should have provided the leadership is Black Americans, dude. Who should have provided the leadership? Even to today, who should be providing leadership for the Black race is Black Americans. Now, let me tell you why.
Go ahead.
In the past, even to today, we have white immigrants, dude, from Europe. They come to America, dude. There was a time where white people only allow immigrants to come from Europe. It stopped because Europe population was declining. European countries like, oh, no, we can't keep letting our population come to America anymore. So go find your immigrants from somewhere else. That's why white people started going to other places to look for immigrants. They go to South America, they go to Asia, and Asians were just taking advantage of, So at a point, they started going to the Caribbean and Africa to find immigrants. And in the past, when white people used to bring the immigrant from Europe, come here, the white American provided leadership for them and make sure that, hey, they never go beneath any other group. They
So,
even Black American.
are you saying that Black America should take the torch?
Thank you.
Okay,
How did that come to your mind?
but Mike, this is my question. We've taken the torch. Now, I think the issue is what a lot of Black Americans are saying is that instead of following and partnering with us, a lot of times, a lot of immigrant communities don't. Now, let me say this: the Afro-Caribbean immigrant community has, for the most part, I would say, kind of has followed the Black American community. But trying to get the African immigrant community now, it's changing. Olawale, it's changing. But
it's changing.
I would say that first generation, for some reason, African immigrants that came over here.
Yeah, he's talking about 70s, 80s, 90s.
Exactly. They did.
Okay. I came in the 90s, so I can relate to what you're saying.
Right.
I definitely witnessed the change as well.
Right. So that community, that first generation, they went out of their way to, I would say, segregate themselves from Black Americans versus the Afro-Caribbean community, who for the most part immigrated with Black Americans. But it's changing.
This is changing. Dennis, the way Black Americans viewed Africans back in the 80s, 90s, 70s is different from the way Black Americans view Africans now. That's why it's changed.
Correct.
Black Americans accepting Africans now.
Right.
The way Black Americans are accepting Africans now, where Africans are like easily connected with Black Americans, it wasn't the same way African Americans were connecting with Africans first. The way Black Americans are now accepting Africans now is the way you used to accept the Caribbeans back then. That's why the Caribbeans were easily able to melt into your community. You understand?
Right.
Because the Caribbean were the first Black immigrants were coming before the Africans. The Caribbean started coming like the 40s, 50s, and 60s. But Africans, we started coming like the 70s, 80s, and 90s. Now, when the Caribbeans came, first of all, they already had similar names as you guys, and their islands were not really being stereotyped by white people as this, negative way in a sense. So Black Americans never had this negative perception of them. So they were easily able to come into the Black American community where African Americans didn't really see them as, okay, I got something against you or anything. But the Africans, over the years, from Black America, the knowledge, information, white supremacy were feeding Black Americans about Africa was so negative and so bad that by the time Africans came, the Black Americans, I'm not saying all, but they were. Let me give you my own example, my own experience.
Go ahead, please.
Like I said, I came during that time, so I can relate to. I can tell you there's a big difference. When I came in the 90s, compared to and the way things was compared to now, it's a big difference, dude. I can say an African today. I can say an African that just came from Africa and can easily walk in the mix of Black Americans, and they will treat you nice. When I came in the 90s, I could not sit in the same room with Black Americans they would not accept me, dude. Okay, I came to America, right? When I was growing up in Nigeria, I was a big fan of African Americans. I was like a #1 fan because I grew up on the celebrities, and I was in love with Black America in Africa when I was living there. I came to America. Okay, let me go connect with these people. Maybe different cities and different environment may be different, but the place where I lived, dude, they would not accept me, dude. Like literally, I go see with a group of Black Americans. They would not. Literally, they would clown me or just push me away, dude. This is a fact. I'm not lying, dude. African immigrants are not being accepted, dude. Back in the 80s, 90s, and 70s. Now there are people. I'm not saying everybody. There were people that were Black Americans that were conscious back then. They knew better. They traveled to the continent. They were better educated. They were accepted. But for the most part, Africans were looked as like trash or just the worst person to be in America in the 90s, 80s, were being an African immigrant, dude. Like, there's no way anybody respects you. Like, so in my story, for example, when I first came, I was a 16-year-old boy, The first people I was trying to connect with to be as connected with were Black Americans. And the moment I walked in the midst of African Americans, the people rejected me.
Okay,
But the moment I go see what
when you say reject, like give me an example. How do they reject you?
dynasty, oh my God, man. Most Africans will tell you this thing, man. You go in the midst. The fact that you have an African accent, the fact that you're not dressed like them or you just different, they don't understand you. They'll automatically they don't treat you nice, dude. They just mean to you, dude. Like people were mean. Let's face the fact, dude. I'm not gonna sit here and just trying to be wishy-washy. Maybe you were not like that. People, the thing is this: most Black Americans they were not like that. Did not understand. They didn't know what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? Someone like you did not know what was happening because you were not like that. You understand? That's why when you see, you wonder. But the people that were and the people that were like that, they know who they are. They know that they did something. They were horrible towards African immigrants. People were terrible towards Africans. I'm telling you. Like I talk about in the kids were going like I mean not only kids, even adults. My dad, for example, this guy cannot like he has story after story after story after story of he goes in a place and the moment Africans American realized he was an African, they just so weird it became nasty to him. Not because he did anything to them. Dynasty, let's just like I said in the beginning, we can learn lessons from our mistakes and let's move forward. Let's build. That's it. Until we do that, we're just gonna keep if we keep giving excuses that this person's fault, that person's fault, is we're not gonna grow nowhere. Let's just say, hey, things were wrong in the beginning. It has happened. Let's forget it. Let's move on. Let's forget mistakes happen.
All
That's
right.
the reason why things happen the way they happen. It's good for things to start off. Sometimes they say if two friends never get in a fight, they can never become best friends. You understand? So we started off wrong. Let's learn from our mistakes on both sides. The bottom line is Africans of that time came and they felt they were rejected. And most of them felt like white people were even nicer to them than blacks. Even though they knew, to be honest with you, back then I knew white people were seriously racist, but all I needed was to be an environment where somebody give me at least a little bit of respect. I don't walk in a place and I'm being disrespected, you know. You never lived in Houston, but Houston was horrible, I'm telling you. And guess what? It's the largest Nigerian community.
Well, yeah,
The Black Americans.
yeah. The largest, in fact, the largest diaspora of Nigerians is in Houston. They say
Houston. Guys, I also tell you one thing from my research. When it comes to, I got African American friends from different part of America, and some of them will tell me that Black Americans in Houston are they're not they're mean to them. They're just very disrespectful, like generally. So I think maybe it's just a Houston thing. You understand what I'm saying? When Houston, African Americans were very mean to Africans, dude. Like when I say like they were very nasty to Africans, and I witnessed it, I saw it, I went through it. I don't I don't hold it against anyone. I'm a pan-Africanist. I want things to be better. I'm trying to educate people, even my African people. Listen, you cannot hold things against people. You have situations, and most of these things are coming from things that white people were feeding them. For example, I had a group of African American kids that came up like back in that time, they would say things like, "Oh, or I don't like you, you're an African," and I would ask, "Okay, what is it?" And they will refer to a movie that they watched. They can say, "Oh, I saw this movie," and when I say movie, okay, how can you base your perception of you on what you see in a movie or what you hear in the news? Or you can't do that. And there was an instance where an African American dude, this guy was tormenting me for like weeks. And finally, when I say, "Dude, you know what's wrong? What is the issue?" What he would tell me is, "Oh, I saw this movie called Sugar Hill, and there was an African." You get it?
Yeah, he called to do the kata.
Thank you. So I mean, you know what's really funny, Dennis? When I did a research and find out who's the director of the movie, it was a white man. It was a white guy that actually directed the movie. So these white supremacists know what they were doing. Then all these things, all these media things, movies, they use them to program people's mind. Mm-hmm. So they knew that if we make a movie like this, it's gonna create tension. So it's like we allowing our minds to be controlled. You understand? So when you watch movies and all these things by Hollywood know what they were doing. They're creating these movies to make you to program you to feel certain way about certain people. So movies, that's why I don't go to movies. I don't watch these things because I know there's an element of mind programming in all these things, you know. So me as the Pan-African, I can see the big picture of all these things. That's why I don't hold nothing against anyone. I don't judge those that mistreated me bad. And I talk to a lot of Africans. Listen, man, you cannot be holding grudges or based on your bad experience or things like that. You got to think. You got to think beyond it. You got to look at a bigger picture. You know, right. The bottom line is the black race is in a hole. We have to find a way to dig ourselves out. You understand? That's what we should be focusing on, not sentiment of, oh, I was hurt by this person, or I was hurt back when I was a kid, I was hurt when I. That's stupid. We got to grow up. We have to mature. You know. So the bottom line, will fail each other in America, and it's so sad because this is the only society where all blacks from different world meet each other. You understand?
Imagine you brought up Black Americans taking the torch. Now, when it comes to civil rights and pan-Africanism, I mean, it's a concept that's originated from the West.
Yeah.
What more do you think? I mean, let's deal with Fela Kuti. Shout out to Ia Fasate and the Hi Lola Bawani. So let's deal with for example, Fela Kuti. Fela Kuti became really conscious after he came to America, and Sandra Isidore introduced him to the civil rights movement.
Yeah.
So when you say Black Americans need to take the torch, like what else is needed for Black Americans to do? And shout out to Gregory Wyatt as well. And guys, hit that like button.
That is, one thing you do sometimes is this, man. You like trying to make a claim by pointing at one or two individuals and saying, okay, this person, like for example, you made a statement. You said, Black Americans are the one doing the pan-Africanism, and Africans it's not being reciprocated. And I find it very insulting, dude. Like,
go ahead.
You cannot like name a base who's doing what based on who's in the book or who's on TV or who's on the media. You understand? Like someone like me, Pan-Africanist, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I don't come on YouTube, would you know that I exist? There are millions of Pan-Africanists in Africa, millions. And many have been executed. Many have been assassinated. You understand? Because you don't hear their stories does not mean they don't exist. You understand? So to say, I see some people, like, I got some friends that are like making video blasting African, blasting entire continent, saying they don't reciprocate Pan-Africanism. Black Americans are the one doing Pan-Africanism. And you say, okay, Booker T. Washington and this person, that person. Oh, name an African Pan-Africanist. Oh, we can't name anybody. Just because we don't exist on the your books on the media doesn't mean we don't exist. There are millions of Pan-Africanists in Africa, dude. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
The continent, that's a bloody war against Pan-Africanism on the continent. One thing that the white supremacy will not allow is a Pan-Africanist to rule Africa. If you're a Pan-Africanist, you want to be a president in Africa, you say that you get killed before you get there, or they'll do everything to make sure you don't get there. Because the moment Pan-Africanists become leaders, Pan-Africanist people become rulers of Africa, the black race problem is solved. All these things you're demanding about citizenship is nothing, dude. You saying I'll become a president of Nigeria? Dude, the first thing first, I go to the United African Union. And Nigeria is one of the most important countries in Africa. I go to the African Union saying, first thing first, every Caribbean country is a member of the AU, African Union. Every Caribbean country. You understand?
Yeah.
Every descendant of slaves automatically are citizens of Africa. That's what someone like me, that's what a Pan-Africanist African leader would say, would do, first thing first. But guess what? Someone like me, I want to become president of Nigeria. You think the white supremacy will allow me? You understand? So for you guys to be judging African based on the leaders we have over there, judging, insulting the entire continent, saying the people there are a bunch of fucking, they don't give a fuck about the diasporans, based on the puppet rulers that are there. Come on, man, that's not fair, man. You know what I'm saying? Let's try to be realistic. Let's try to be realistic. It's not fair at all. Like, to just say, oh, the Africans don't give a shit. Oh, look at they didn't give us this. They didn't send a book. The people in charge are not the right people. That's why I say Pan-Africanism is the future. So anyone that's insulting Pan-Africanism is insulting the future. You're insulting the future of your children coming up. Because the only hope for the black race are the Pan-Africanists. And anybody insulting Pan-Africanists is insulting the future of his children. That's what I can say, man. All these Yvette Cornell and all these people. I love ADOS idea that black Americans should have their own tribe. It's beautiful. Mm-hmm. Why not? Jamaicans were taken from Africa. They have their own tribe. Jamaicans, Asians, they have their own tribe. Asians. Why can't black Americans as a group say, okay, this is our own distinct ethnic group? I love it. But the people behind that stuff, that's not their true intention. These people are agents. Yvette Cornell is an agent of white supremacy, dude. And all these other people, what are they doing? You claiming that, okay, I created EOS. But what are you doing? You're not engaging the government to give you the you engaging African immigrants. Are they the one that's gonna give you your 80 your ass, or is the government? You know? So we need to be careful. We need to be wise. We need to start thinking. We need to start thinking. You know what I'm saying? So the division, we need to take responsibility. Yes, there's a division. There are Africans that have lived there for so long that they've out there feeling that Black America rejected them so long. They got used to the idea of just staying away from Black Americans in a sense, which is terrible. It's a terrible thing. And they need to work on themselves. Like, I cannot be living in America and be more closer to white people than Black Americans. That's not okay. You understand? What we should be tackling is the roots of a problem, not the branch of a problem. Because what we're doing is we're just being reactive. Oh, these Africans, I can see that they're hanging out white people, or they don't hang out with us too much, and fuck them. Why don't you ask your question? What created this? What led to these things? Let's go to the roots of it and learn lessons and figure what we can do to fix and make things, get things in the proper alignment.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. So you said Yvette Carnell's. So shout out to Ia Fasade. Ia, you wanna hop? Ia. Ia, you wanna jump on? Ia?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Do you wanna jump on? Ia, I can see you. Let me know. Ia says, Ifa Wale, you cannot stigmatize all African Americans based on your own personal experience. What you're not doing.
I'm the big
Go over there. Go over there.
Oh yeah.
No.
My big boss. Oh yeah.
Let's go with it. Hold on, 1 second. Let's go with it. Shout out to O'Shea Duke Jackson too. Go with it. You done? You got anything else you want to say? You got anything else you want to say, Master?
Yeah. Hello.
Hey, what's up? That boy look like you, man.
You got anything else you want to say?
Yeah. Hello.
How are you? What's your name?
Mansa.
Huh?
Mansa.
Oh, Mensa. Let me give you a name.
Huh?
I want to give you a name.
He said he'll give you a name. Go ahead.
Your name is Omoluabi. That means a good child.
You're a good child. Are you a good child?
Yeah.
Okay, so be a good child and go over there. Be a good child over there. All right, there we go. Okay. All right. Ia, do you want to jump on? Or O'Shea, do you want to jump on? Connection's going in and out. Okay. O'Shea, do you want to jump on? Let's see here. Yeah, but now as far as again, I do not agree with everything Yvette Carnell says. Number one, she's a misery merchant, which I don't agree with. But let me ask you this, Olawale. Do Black Americans have a specific claim towards the federal government in which they owe us in regards to the free labor that we provided for this country, to build this country?
Absolutely. Not only the federal governments, the whole world hold the Black race, period. There's no question about that. If you want to specifically in America, yes, absolutely, they hold you. But yes, you have a right to demand it. Do I think these people asking your enemy for something? I don't know if that's a good idea. But hey, you have a right to, definitely. Slavery, 400 years. I mean, come on now.
Yeah.
No apology, nothing. Come on, they hold you. But
go ahead.
What do I see a lot is a lot of people focusing on waiting for the enemy to give them or do for them, or when you could be focusing more of your energy on doing for yourself. You understand what I'm saying? Digging yourself out of a position.
So, but
waiting for your enemy to get you out of it.
Let me ask you, not to cut you off. Is this the pull yourself up from the bootstraps argument?
No. Well, I don't know much about the term and who's coming up. Oh, sorry. I don't know much about the politics of put yourself up for the bootstrap. I don't know too much about, because I hear people say, a lot of people saying people always, it's a disrespectful thing that people always tell Black people to put themselves up for bootstrap. No, that's not what I'm saying. A lot of African Americans are successful, and I don't believe that stereotype that Black Americans are not doing for themselves.
Right.
A lot of African Americans I surround myself with, like me, I'm the kind of person in the crowd. I only pick the good, I only surround myself with good people. Most African Americans are my friends. They're successful people, man. Engineers, lawyers, most African American women that I know. If someone will sit down with me and say, let's talk about Black American women, I have more positive to say than negative, because those are the kind of women that, you understand what I'm saying? Because those are the kind of people I surround myself with. But all these people that come on saying Black Americans are this and that, I can't really say much negative, because most of my African American friends are decent people, because that's who I choose to surround myself with. So this stereotype of Black are not putting themselves by the bootstrap, that's bullshit. I don't know what percentage it is, but a lot of African Americans that I surround myself with are successful people. They're hardworking. They're putting their best they're doing their best. So I don't follow that stereotype of, people should put themselves, they're not putting themselves. I don't follow that stereotype at all. Dude, there are individuals, whoever's not doing it, we should be able to tell them that, hey, you need to get your steps together, and do your thing, do for yourself. But what I'm saying is, as a people, one thing I noticed in America, like I said in the beginning, we failed each other in America. I don't see, even the Nigerian community that you're looking at, you think they're being successful, they're not really together like that,
Yeah.
In America, we're not really together like that, you know what I'm saying? And though we get, but in America, the Black society, meaning the Black Americans, the immigrants, everybody, we haven't got together to be in competition with other race. You understand? We're just doing our own thing individually. Then some of us are looking like we're doing better than others, and the others are getting mad, and that's not what we should be doing. We should be putting our strengths together. There's some things I know about Caribbean community that there's some strength that the Caribbean community have that the Africans don't have. There's some strength that Black American community have that the African immigrants community don't have. And there's some strengths that the Nigerian community have that everybody else don't have. Everybody has strengths, and we all have weaknesses. But instead of us to be discussing, hey, bring your strength. Everybody, let's put our strength together.
Yes.
And raise our children with a powerful, you understand? Like all the strengths that Nigerians are bringing, the strengths that the Caribbeans are bringing, the strengths that the Ghanaians are bringing, the Senegalese, trust me, man, if you interact with different immigrants from different Black countries, they all have different strengths. I'm telling you, unique strengths.
Right.
Trust me. Nigerians and Ghanaians, trust me, there's some things about Ghanaians that I want to learn. There's some things about Senegal, other Africans that I meet that I'm learning. Some things things that I learn from them. What we should be focusing on is, hey, let's stop self-hate and let's bring our strengths and put in one basket and bring our children together and raise them, load them up with all these strengths.
Yes.
So the next 20 years, African-American children, Nigerian children, all the Black children will be on top of take over this country. Whether you like it or not, 20 years from now, you're going to have Black immigrant and Nigerian immigrant, Ghanaian immigrant, Black American. We're all still going to be in this country. 20 years ago, we failed ourselves. Mm-hmm. Rather than coming together, we push ourselves away. We diss ourselves. We hurt each other. 20 years now, we are here. What are we supposed to be doing? Learning from our mistakes. We're not doing that. What we're doing on social media is cursing each other out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we're taking the route of cussing each other out and getting emotional. Is that the way forward? Is that a plan for the next 20 years? No. That's what I'm trying to say. Let's take the positive route. The past has happened. We can't change it. We can't change someone that hurt you last week, it's already happened. You can't change it. Or someone that hurt you 20 years ago, you can't change it. The way forward is to accept that, okay, we failed. Fuck it. We screwed up. We mistreated each other. Fuck it. It's happened. We can't do anything about it. Okay, how about now? What's the way forward? Okay, let's plan. White people always plan in the next 20, 50 years, 100 years. Black people, we don't plan future, dude. No. White people, they'll be talking about the future of their children. We don't get together to talk about the future of our children. No, so you got a son. Look at your son, beautiful boy. No. I don't want that boy to 20 years from now, he's sitting out with a Nigerian and they're cussing each other out over some things that their parent did 20 years ago. You know what I'm saying? I want to see that boy sitting out with a Nigerian kid, like both on top of a company, only like running companies. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like they're not at the bottom of no economy. They're competing, overtaking other groups. That's what I want to see, you know?
Mm.
You know, yeah, there are issues, man. But yeah, we can talk about the issues, and when we want to talk about the issues, let's be honest. Let's discuss what we all did wrong, rather than trying to be defensive. You know, like no. They were the one that were wrong. I was no. Let's accept it. Africans came in, like we said. Yeah, they didn't do that. I mean, they did a lot of Africans respected Black Americans. That's wrong. I'll be the first to accept it. Like, hey, come on, you don't come to someone's country and disrespect them, whether they welcome you or not. You know, because argument most Africans are saying is that when people, Black Americans come visit Africa, they welcome them, but then when we come over here, they don't welcome us and things like that. Hey, okay, that happens, whatever, but it doesn't give you the rights to not respect them. You know, you know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah, but
I
as far
mean,
as that,
it doesn't.
go ahead.
It doesn't give you the right to come and not study the history to understand where they're coming from and just ignore it. Because most African they come in, they don't even want to learn about Black America's history. They just want to focus on making money. You
True.
know,
Yeah,
let's make this money. You know, come on, man. You can't do that, man. You got to come to someone's society and trying to come on. You know, you can't just ignore these people, man. You got to work with them and move forward. You know, so I have to accept the Africans are wrong. You know.
okay. Now, because I was going to bring up the point that, I mean, as far as us not welcoming, a lot of us not welcoming or being hospitable. I mean, again, you got to understand the history of what we've been through in this country. So, you know, we've been stripped of everything.
Everything, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, everything. So, I mean, a lot of that has to do with why. And then, and as you mentioned, as far as a lot of African immigrants not taking the time out to learn the history of Black Americans. I know when Black Americans go to Africa, we immerse ourselves in know more of the history than a lot of Africans on the ground in these countries and immigrants.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think what a lot of African Americans are saying, like, why isn't that somewhat reciprocated?
That when they come here, they don't want to learn. And again, I said they should. And at the same time, they should. When you like someone like me, I come here and I learned. I took my time to learn Black American history, understand where they're coming from. That's why I'm able to speak the way I'm speaking. That's why I'm able to feel the way I feel compared to another African that does not know. That's what I'm saying. Knowledge is power. Your knowledge is what decide how you behave. You understand? So there's no way I would see an African American person that's in a low position or something and me look down or disrespect or see him as a failure because I've studied your history. I know it. You understand? But you have some Africans that come, they don't know nothing. They just judge what they see before start. Yeah, they're dead wrong. At the same time, we're talking here. That is, you also when you mention that, you also have to say, okay, when two brothers get in a conflict,
All right.
there's gonna be right and wrong on both sides. Now, if one brother is not sitting down, not telling you that, oh, this is where I'm right, and not talking about where he's wrong, now he's only telling you where you're right and wrong. But that conflict is never gonna be resolved. You understand?
Right.
So if you want to talk about why they come here, they don't want to learn about us. I'll give you an example. Some people come here and they feel like they're not welcome, dude. So they already give them like, okay, if I'm not welcome by these people, well, let me just mind my business. I'm just giving you some honest truth. That's how a lot of Africans feel.
So let me ask you this: so why don't Afro-Caribbeans harbor that same, I guess?
The way Afro-Caribbeans are welcome is different. Dude, the way Black Americans embrace Afro-Caribbeans is different from the way you embrace Africans, dude. The way
Why do you think so? I know you mentioned before as far as the accent, but I know a lot of Jamaicans.
No. The information white supremacy has fed Black Americans over the years, man.
Okay.
100,000 movies, and so when you mention Africa, the thing that coming to before you went to Africa, before you traveled to Africa, you can't tell me that the way you were thinking of Africa is the same way you think now.
Of course not. Yeah, of course not.
Exactly, because the thing that fed you was so negative that when people talk about Caribbean, you think about Jamaica, Bob Marley, beautiful island, beautiful beaches, right?
Oh, right. Okay.
So when a Caribbean person come here, of course, an African American will make it, I want to go to Jamaica, So the way you receive Jamaican persons based on the way you already have your thinking of them. But an African, the way they, which is better, thank God social media came through, that people can able to go do their own independent research. But
Right.
you and I can agree before the social media came. If you're talking about the 90s, I came in the 90s, so I know what I'm talking about. Witness this, man.
Mm-hmm.
Every day on TV, Discovery Channel, they're showing like primitive things, like the way they describe Africa is so bad that they program the mind of a Black American, you know. So that's what I'm saying. So the way Black Americans receive Caribbeans is different from the way they receive Africans, you know. So of course you work on the Caribbeans. That's why they're able to, you know. It's kind of like you went to Africa, right?
Right.
Because they welcomed you, you went back and back and back again. If you
Right.
would have went the first time, if you would have went the first time you went, if they would have pushed you aside, there's no way you'll be going back, you know.
Right. Right. True. Yeah. True.
So what I'm trying to say is, Black Americans should take a little bit of responsibility for what has happened, and we need to just accept that okay, we did each other wrong, and we didn't do the best, which is okay. It's okay to accept that you know you didn't do the best, and just learn from it and let's move forward, rather than just trying to sweep it under the rug like, oh no, we didn't do it. Oh no, just accept it, man. And you know, like if just say, hey man, these people came, we should have welcomed them better, we should have connected. But there are reasons why it didn't. Of course, the way you were programmed, you know, white supremacy. But let's just accept that, hey, we didn't start off on the right foot, we didn't start on the solid ground, you know. So that's why where we are today. So now what has happened has happened. We can change it. We can change it, dude. The best thing for us to be doing is look in the future. Like, okay, 20 years from now, how do we want our children to relate? How do I want your son and my son to relate? Do I want him to be sitting down right now and be talking about, oh, your dad was insulting my dad 20 years ago? And, you know, because most of these African kids, this generation, some of them, the way they, like, behaving towards Black Americans is something that the parents were teaching them at home. Like, okay, my dad used to have bad experience, dude. Like, the moment my dad came in the 80s, and I came here like in the 90s. The moment I came to America, the first thing he was telling me is, hey, from the airport, he was already saying, hey, man, he's trying to distance himself from Black American because they're going to disrespect you a lot. That's what he was telling me. I'm like, what? He was already telling me that, you know. They're going to disrespect you a lot. You just mind your business. Just stay away from them. They don't respect you. They don't like African. You know, but unfortunately, I ran into people that are behaving just like that. But later on, I started meeting other people that were definitely not like that. But out of my own wisdom, I learned to see that, oh, in every group, there's good and bad people. So let me associate myself with the good ones. So that's why you always, anybody that see me with a Black American is a decent person. Think about it. All these Black YouTubers, you're the only one I hang out with, you know? The other one, you will not see me going to Vec on L's show. Hell no. Or some of all these negative people. I choose good people. When I deal with African American, I deal with good ones. I'm not, and when Africans ask me a question about Black America, I talk about good people. You know what I'm saying? It's not fair for me to say because some people are very bad to me, now I have to judge all Black Americans. Like, no, that's not the way I roll, man. Because there are a lot of bad Nigerians. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I won't want somebody to judge me based on those bad Nigerians. I won't want that, you know.
Let's see what we got here in the chat room. Everyone, thank you for joining. Make sure you hit that like button, okay? We have 300 people watching. And only 107 likes. Let's get these likes up. So, but do you think your dad that he over stereotyped Black Americans too much? I mean, I'm pretty sure all his experiences with Black Americans were negative.
Absolutely, he did. He overdid it, and even to today I talk to him about it, like, because this is what happened to a lot of. Cause my dad was poor when he came in. He was like driving cab. He was like doing many jobs. He came in poor. So what I discovered is that most of the Africans that usually had bad experience with Black Americans were the one that came to the poor neighborhoods. Like usually the neighborhood where the poor and the worst of the Black Americans live.
I need you to repeat that again, because that's very important. That a lot of times what happens when African immigrants come to America, they get around the worst of us, and then they take that.
Thank you. That's what it is. Because when he came very poor, very poor. So you usually probably live in a worse environment where you run into Pookie and Ray kind of people all the time, you know. But with me, by the time I had opportunity to live in that kind of environment, I also had opportunity to live like in a suburb where people, Black American like yourself, exist. Where they're decent, they're nice, they're brought up, you understand? So I had the opportunity to experience the good side of Black America and the bad side. So I was able to use my wisdom to understand that, hey, in every culture and every people, there are good and bad people. So with my own wisdom, I choose like, okay, I'm going to associate with a good Black American so I can have good experience. So I've had a lot of good experience with Black Americans. More good experience than bad because I chose to associate myself with the good Black Americans. But with him, probably didn't have a choice but to be in an environment of the negative people. So all he was experiencing was bad, 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 bad. And then he started like, I mean, my father was not very educated like that, you know. So he started like kind of like telling me, "Oh, they're bad people, they're bad people." But with my own wisdom, I had a conversation with him like, no. Listen, that's your experience. That's not to tie to other people. And I will point at the negative side of Nigeria and say, okay, look at that. You know, that's terrible. You know, there's every society that's good and bad. The problem is we're all dwelling on the bad things. We are dwelling on negativity. That's what the problem is. We should be focusing more on the positive side of things. You know.
You know, somebody in the chat room says, now this is wow. Ade Doyen says it's the same in the UK. When you coming from the UK, when you coming to the UK from Nigeria, they warn you to stay away from the black British from Jamaican descent. I didn't think about that. I mean, what are your thoughts on that?
I never lived in the UK, man. I visited, but I know people that lived in the UK, but I've never heard that, man. One thing I don't think any African ever told me to stay away from Caribbean people here in America. I know that one for sure. You know. My dad, in fact, he was more into Caribbean people. A lot of his friends were Caribbeans, you know. So I don't know what's going on in the UK, but I doubt that because I really can't speak for the UK, man, because I haven't lived there. I visited, but I know that the blacks in the UK are usually from the continent or the island, and from my own knowledge, I know they get along. It may be that different division may be there, but it's not as crazy as it is in the US, though. Like it was in the US. It's better now, to be honest. This millennial generation, I think that I see them really getting along. You know. I mean, it's a division, but it's not compared to. I'm talking about 80s, 90s. Oh man, come on now. The things I saw back in the 90s was terrible, dude. Like the way a lot of Africans were treated, I witnessed it, man. It was terrible. By just a negative, not only Black American, everybody, Hispanics, even white, everybody. So, and it's not an excuse for any African to be negative towards anyone. I don't think it's a good thing, you know. Or and not all Africans are like that. But one thing I'll tell you also about people saying Nigerians don't want us to associate with them. Also, sometimes, okay, I had a situation where, like I said, I associate myself with good Black Americans, and certain people, it's not because they're not good people that I don't associate with them. But sometimes when you on a journey in life, and somebody's on a different route, and you understand that, oh, if I hang out with this person, he's gonna distract. What's the word, man? Take me off my trajectory to where I'm going.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like, let's say, for example, you want to become an engineer, right?
Right.
And you got this guy that's just want to party or just want to do stuff like that. Of course, you start hanging with that person, you're not gonna get to where you're trying to go. So sometimes I think some people are seeing that, like, okay, this guy, why is he not trying to hang with us? Why is he?
Right.
It could be that what he's trying to do is totally opposite of what you're doing. So that sometimes people see it as, oh, they take it to the heart that, oh, he's not fucking with me because I'm different. Which in our community would do it. In Nigerian society would do it. Like Nigerians, sometimes we see another Nigerian is not doing what they want to do and they don't hang out with him,
Right.
It could be that as well sometimes, because I've had people accuse me of not trying to hang out with them, or I'm thinking I'm better or something like that. Not because I don't like them, or I just see that, oh, what these guys are busy doing at this time, or this is going to distract me from what I'm trying to do,
Okay. Shout out to everybody in the chat room. Again, hit that like button as you come in. Let's see here. So what okay, what exactly can we do, Olawale, for those who might not have an idea in regards to African Americans and Africans coming together here in America? What needs to be done? How can we get this started?
That is, like I said before, man, the problem with the black race is, number one thing is leadership, dude. We don't have leadership, man. We don't have leadership, dude. We need to find a way to establish this leadership, and leadership that we can all respect, There are people that try to be leaders, but people just don't give them opportunity to lead. You understand?
Right.
Like today, in the past, yes, it was. I can say before the social media came around, I would say it was impossible for the blacks to have leaders because you need the CNN and the Fox News to put you on for us to recognize who you are. So back then, Black America only know Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton and all these clowns,
Right. Yeah.
because those are the only people that they put on CNN, So, but now that we have social media, this is a blessing, dude. God gave us social media, dude. We can control our own context.
Right.
If Black Americans, what we need to start preaching is peace. Because what I noticed when I look at let's just say African American community within yourself, dude. Like every time I tune in, like if they put 5 of you guys in a room, it's almost like you got to fight each other because your views are different. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And it's not really about the view. It's just that people are still angry about a lot of things, dude. People are upset and angry. And one thing I can tell you about anger, if you study metaphysics, man, anger is the destroyer. Anger destroys. You understand? Anything you do in life, if you do it with anger, you're gonna fail. It's gonna collapse. So first thing first, if you say you want to do anything, build or create anything, you gotta eliminate your anger first. You understand? You gotta eliminate anger in you. Like if somebody come with me and say, Mike, let's go do something. And I say that you're angry, you're about to put you in anger. I say, dude, we're not ready, man. You're not ready. Even if we're going on the battlefield as a soldier and you're an angry soldier, I don't want to go with you, dude, because your anger is not gonna let you. It's not gonna. Your head is never level with anger in it.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way. So one thing I can say is, first thing first, people need to drop anger. If people want to get together there's going to be differences. Drop the anger. Let's find a way to establish leadership, man. You know what I'm saying? Who are the best people to lead? Once we have leadership, and we have to have norms. Janice, one thing that's lacking in American society is norms. Janice, you've been to Africa. Every community you go to, they have what? Code of conduct.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
In America, I don't know how we can. If that's not in place, forget it,
man. Yeah. No, I understand. Right.
If we don't have code of conduct, that we all agree this is the right thing, this is the wrong thing, forget it.
It's a wrap.
Individualism is a Eurocentric idea. It's not. It's on African, dude. Individualism is on African. It's not going to work out, and that's the number one destruction of Black community everywhere. The individualism that's being preached to us is they're preaching in Africa right now. Feminism, individualism, all that bullshit, man. We cannot. African people are not individualistic minded people. We are collective cultural people. You understand what I'm saying? You cannot be individual. That's why the Black community is so divided, because everybody's trying to do his own thing. No, we have to come together as a people. We in Africa, it's a village that raises a child. You never go to an African. When you went to Nigeria, you went to Africa. You never see neighbors not saying hi to each other. You never see somebody raising a child by himself. No, it's the village that raises a child. Your neighborhood are the one raising you. You understand? And why is it possible? Because your parents and the parents in the next door are on the same page. We all agree on the same code of conduct. Your son is not supposed to do this. If I see your son, we all have the same rules, the same code of conduct. That our son in African community, everybody's everybody's son, everybody's everybody's daughter, everybody's dad is everybody's dad. You see, when you went to Nigeria, you see children calling somebody dad, and that's not his dad. When I go there, when I say elder, I call him dad because it's my dad's age. I expect to treat me like a son. If we can bring that, that's why I said we all have strengths. Africans are coming to America with so many strengths. If Black America can look and tap into their strengths rather than tapping into their weakness, what can I learn from these people? What can they learn from me? Let's learn good from each other and build and increase rather than focusing on working out. See bad about them, And that's why white people are able to take over, because what white people did was go around the world learning from everybody. They learned from the Africans. They went and learned from the Europe. They took everybody's knowledge and used to shoot themselves to the sky. But we need to start doing the same thing.
No, you're right. You're right. Let's see what we got here in the chat room. Yeah, we did. Okay. Consciously create 211. We definitely cannot blame. No, war on drugs is what tore our community apart. welfare system and war on drugs. That's what tore our community apart.
And why were the enemies able to successfully put those problems in the community? Like I
No,
said,
no.
if the community, in Nigeria, for example, right? If you were to say you want to introduce crack into a community, the community are together, dude. They're together. You're not gonna succeed, dude. They'll give you what they call mob justice real quick. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? They will give you mob justice. You can infiltrate an African village or community with ideas or some kind of bullshit like that, you know. But in the Black American community, it's individualism, dude. There's something taught to you about white people. That's white man's culture. Individualism is not black person's culture. In a black neighborhood, every black person should know each other's name. Should be raising each other's children together. The elders should be coming together to decide how the children in the community will behave. The elders should be the one in charge. I live in African American neighborhoods, man, and it's like a child will do something bad, and you see an elder just walk by. That it's none of my business. It's not my child. I don't care. That child's gonna grow up to date your daughter, dude.
Right.
That's gonna be your daughter's boyfriend in the future. Help him, correct him, fix him, so that way when he grows up, he's going out with your daughter. He's gonna treat your daughter right. You know. Don't say the next person's child is none of your business. Individualism is not. It's un-African. It's not a black man's thing. You know, first of all, the black community in America, we need to come together and accept that individualism is not our way. Let's go the way our ancestors, the way of the African, where the village come together and work together and we raise our children together. Make sure nobody introduce anything bad to our children. You know what I'm saying? We raise our kids together. You know, we teach them the values, the proper values, what family is about. We teach them at an early age. The importance of family, all those kind of things, you know, good values, you know. Most of the values I learned growing up in Nigeria didn't come from my parents. It came from the environment. It came from the elders around me. But here in America, like, if your parents don't teach you, forget it.
Yeah, like I said, it was drugs. Well, once all the leadership was taken out of the black community, it just left a vacuum, and once they brought drugs in and the welfare system, it was a wrap.
Yeah, the integration was a bad idea, dude. The segregation to me was a bad idea. Because I think when Black America was segregated, you're forced to, you know, be together. You know what I'm saying? And then back then, when you had segregation, the best of the blacks were living in a black neighborhood. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But when you start having integration, the best of the blacks were moving to white neighborhood. You know.
Let's see what else we got here in the chat room. But Mike, what we'll do, man, we'll go ahead and mass incarceration as well. It's something else that, I mean, we've had so much just affect us here in the black community here in America as far as mass incarceration.
I said in the beginning, dude, I don't know anybody. I know people that succeed from failure. I don't know anybody that succeed from excuses, man. Yes, we got problems, but let's start giving excuses, man. Let's start using this, man. Let's look at our problems, study it very well, and figure out how to get the fuck out of it, you know. We can't keep on pointing finger at white men, focusing on racism. These people are not gonna change who they are. Forget them. Let's focus on ourselves, dude. It's like when I see people that call themselves so-called black leaders, they're more focusing on changing white people. When racism will end, when is white people will start being racist? Who gives a shit about white men being racist? He can be racist all he wants. Before you want to, in warfare, let me give you a tip about warfare. Let's say before you go to war with your enemy, you need to go to war with yourself. You understand?
Right.
You go to war with yourself to heal your own demons. And then after that, you have to sort yourself out, and then you can face the enemy. That's what China did. China, before China rose, that's the first approach. Chinese shut themselves, their country, they shut it down. No one can come in, no outsider can come in. And they sort their issues, internal issues out. They went to war, civil war. They kill each other until they figure themselves out. They sort themselves out. And then they started facing the giants, the Europeans, whatever. Who can bring Chinese down? China is very united. The country, you can bring them down. But blacks, we need to focus on ourselves and sort ourselves out. Go to war with our demons and figure that out. And then we can start looking at white supremacy and say, hey, man, hey, what's up? But we haven't figured out, sort our own internal issue out, and we're facing white supremacy. Dude, the white supremacy is not going to lift a finger. He's going to use somebody among you. You already have enemy among you. Your own person will take you out, man. So forget white supremacy for now. Get your mind off white people. Let's look inside. And that's why I'm laughing when saying reparation. I say, hey, you deserve it, but you wasting your time, dude. Like, white people are just laughing, man. You just strategize. When you start your movement, people among you is what they're going to use to bring you down, man. Because we haven't sorted ourselves out. I don't think about white people, dude. As a pan-africanist, the big picture to me is when would a day where fucking blacks will come together, hand tribalism, hand ethnicity, and all this shit with hand, if I can even focus on white people, dude. I don't have the energy to be facing white people right now. Among my people, there's so much tribalism going on, dude. You know what I'm saying? And until everybody develop the Pan-African mindset, because Pan-African ideology, Pan-Africanism is an ideology, dude. It's not an identity or anything. It's an ideology. Once you go and study Kwame Nkrumah, go and read. Every black person should have their children learning about Kwame Nkrumah at an early age. Reading the speech of Kwame Nkrumah, Marcus Garvey, these people address these things. That the black man, until we have tribalism and all these things, forget it, man. The white supremacy will continue to rule us. You know, Pan-Africanism is what should be number one education. Every child, every black child should be receiving right now, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Pan-Africanism is an ideology. There's no way I can hate a black American or hate a Jamaican or hate anybody. It's impossible. Because I'm so soaked into Pan-Africanism. You know what I'm saying? Pan-Africanism mindset will not allow me to be a tribalist, man, or be a nationalist, all that bullshit. Because those are bullshit. That's not the root. That's not gonna get me nowhere, man. You know, Pan-African is every black man understanding that. Listen, man, your biggest monster. We have a continent. Oh my God, we have a continent. Listen, Diamonds, what's in the African soil?
What's in the what?
The things that's in the African soil, the wealth.
Yes, the wealth.
If you honest, all these black Americans talking about there's no amount of money American government will give you is equal to, or even a fraction of what you can gain from African soil, dude. The wealth that's in African soil is a fake, dude, man. Why are we focusing on white men giving us crap? The reparation money is gonna give you is something you're probably gonna skip.
Yeah, but you understand there's still a debt owed to us because of the free labor, the forced labor.
Danny, that's a debt. Oh, but wait, how about we get ourselves out of our shit? How about let's use Chinese for example. Before the Chinese became whole, right? Let's say white people holding something, right? Mm-hmm. When was the best time for Chinese to demand what white people holding? If let's say Chinese people were enslaved in the past, right? Right now, if China tell America, pay me for what you enslaved me for, America has no trouble to pay China. Why? These people are powerful right now. Mm-hmm. Because when China was still divided, because they were very divided in the past, when they were still divided among themselves, and they go to white people and say, okay, you enslaved me in the past, pay me money. They're just gonna laugh you off, like, okay, what are you gonna do about it? Okay, like you ask white people for reparation. What they ask, okay, make me do it. How you gonna? But if you become powerful, you get to a point where you're so powerful. Let's say, for example, the African and the Black American are one. You understand? And the Caribbean, we all one people. And Black Americans say, okay, pay me for slavery. And white people say, okay, make me. Let's say on the continent, every leadership in African continent are Pan-Africanists. They're people like me, right? All right. And you go to American government and say, pay me for slavery. Americans say, they tell you, make me. And you make a phone call. Mike, you the head of African Union. American government is not going to pay me. Guess what? I shut down the Congo. I shut the Congo. Say, okay, until you pay Danny's the money he's asking for, you hold his forefathers, you're not taking any resources out of the Congo this year. Mm. You know what I'm
saying? So that's the missing part.
That's the missing part, dude. We need power. You can't tell someone to give you something. You're going to make me. Nobody was willing to give you money, dude. Make me. That's what they're going to ask you. You ask a white man, give me reparation. They're going to play, these Democrats play, oh, yeah, I'm going to give you reparation. These are the Democratic presidential guy already telling you guys, oh, I'm going to give you reparation. Wait, elect them into office, see if they give you the reparation. Right. They're going to tell you, make me. It's like if I hold you money. Oh, yeah, you say, Mike, pay me, and I'm not going to pay your money. I better use that money to go party. Make me. Boy, if you got a gun, you say, Mike, pay me my money. Oh, here's your money, son. Or you got something you're going to take back from me? So what I'm saying is, reparation is necessary, but your approach, you need to gain power first. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. When you gain power, and then you can demand something from white people eventually pay you guys for your slavery. Trust me, man. They're gonna pay. They're gonna pay you guys for your reparation. But not, now that you cannot make them do it, dude. That's not your first approach. The future of the black race is pan-africanism, dude. Imagine every black man on this earth is a pan-African mindset. My race first. You understand?
Yes.
You in America, I'm a pan-African government in Africa, and you say, you know what? So this year, how about 40 years of slavery, man? I need payment for it. And you go to the White House. Okay, this is a bill. We need payment. You pay the Jews money for their problem. How come you don't want to pay me? And let's say you get lost. And you say, hey, I'm about to pick a phone call and call Mike. He's the president of the African Union. He said, Mike, man, hey, you know what? I'm your brother, man. I need this money. They got the money. They got it. And they don't want to give me. And I call the White House and say, listen, man, you want some resources this year for the next 10 years? You know what? You don't pay Danny's that money you're asking for? How much is the asking? You just want $1 trillion? And this year you want 10 trillion out of my soil? Nah, fuck you. I'm gonna give that 10. I'm gonna sell my shit to China, not to you. Pay Danny's this money. Pay him for slavery, man. Slavery was an insult. That was an insult to his ancestors, man. You need to pay for that shit. They'll pay you your money, dude. So you guys need to change your mentality, man. This divide shit, be divided. I hate Africans. You guys are wasting your time, dude. You're wasting your time. The future of the black race is pan-Africanism, dude. You're wasting your time with, oh, fuck the African and we'll get my reparation from the white man. You're wasting your time. You deserve your reparation. Go ask. Hey, I'm not going to tell anybody what to do. Do it. I support it. I support ADOS movement, but I don't support Yvette Cornell and all these people behind it. They're terrible humans. They're terrible people. Like I said, I only associate myself with good people. You're a good person. That's why I associate myself with you. There are terrible African Americans out there that I would never associate myself with them. You know, Yvette can never invite me to a show and I'll show up. Hell no. No one will pay me enough money for me to show up. Because that's a terrible human being, dude. This chick, she playing games, dude. She's just playing the minds. These people are agents. I won't be surprised she's working for white supremacy. I won't be surprised. Dude. See, that's something in our spiritual system. They say, listen, man, don't take everything with face value. There's two sides to a coin. You know, somebody appear to you, be careful. You know, like me, I can sense people's character, dude. She's appearing to Black America as a savior. Oh, I'm coming as a savior. But that chick, trust me, that's something else. I won't be surprised she's working for white supremacy. Trust me.
You think so?
She's a horrible person. I support Black America having their own tribe and their own claim. And I support it. And I'm with you with the idea that if you guys don't want any immigrant to benefit, to take off whatever is designed for you, I'm with it. Honestly, if there's anything I, as an immigrant in America right now, I'm taking that belongs to you. If you say, Mike, hey, you know what? I don't think it's fair for you to be taking this, man. Stop taking it. I say, hey, okay, you know what? I'll leave it alone. I don't have a problem. You know what I'm saying? For the sake of, this is my brother, man. For the sake of the future, dude. Me, people like us, Pan-African, we're thinking 100 years from now. We're not thinking today, dude. We're thinking 100 years from now. We're thinking about our grandchildren, not us. The Pan-Africanist dream is something I can't give up on. This is something I'll teach my kids. Like, listen, man, this is the future of the black race. Without that shit, there's no future. We're gonna get stuck in we're in a hole. We're gonna get stuck for the next 200 years. Don't see everybody understand that we need to become Pan-Africanists and get out of this mess, you know?
Right.
That's the only way forward, man, you know?
Well, hey, Brother Olawale, it's been a pleasure. Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, man. Anytime.
How can people contact you? Give everybody your contact information if you want them to reach out to you.
Just email me, man. That's all, man. Like,
okay, I'll put your email.
Put my email there, whatever. Yeah.
Okay.
Just email me, you know.
Hey, Sports Actuary. See, I think you emailed me already, but do me a favor. Email me again, brother. I'd love to have you on. But everyone, somebody in the chat room, Sports Actuary. Somebody in the chat room. But everyone, thank you so much for joining us. Make sure you go to Search for Uhuru on Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, and Facebook. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Until next time, family, Dynasty Mirror, Search for Uhuru. Peace.
All right.